If you've been following my training vlogs recently, then you know that my training is going quite well. And one of the things I like to do to stay healthy is to visit my friend Kevin, who is a doctor of chiropractic. In fact, we just filmed a video in the past, and if you haven't seen that already, then I'm going to leave it down in the description below. But Kevin has really helped me to stay healthy because he identifies what kind of deficiencies I have in my movement patterns, and then we can over time fix it to fix any muscle imbalances I may have so that I can keep training, keep lifting heavy while staying healthy and injury free.
Cool.
Hey everyone, it's Anand back here again. As you know, I'm gonna compete in 6 weeks and I was feeling pretty tight, and my training's been going really well, but I just wanna stay injury free and I wanna be able to perform really well. So I'm back here with Dr. Kevin, and you may have already seen my videos on how to prevent injuries where he gives you his top 5 tips. So if you haven't seen that already, make sure to click on the link in the description below. So what are we gonna do today?
That's a great question. What are we going to do today?
Okay.
So, I mean, like, obviously, we do the same treatment style, and we do soft tissue, we do mobilization, we do physical re-education, and we kind of give you exercises. But what are you feeling, and what's going on with you?
For me, one of the major things is that my right knee has been kind of hurting a little bit.
Okay.
I don't know why. It just started about last weekend.
Okay.
It's not too bad. I can still work out. I can still squat. But I feel like I might be squatting with a little bit of a wide stance, wider than I should, and I feel like my knees might be caving in.
Okay.
So maybe that could be causing it. And also in general, my hips and my right glute and this area, which generally gets tight, is also starting to feel a little bit tight. So.
Well, yeah. Okay. So we'll evaluate that. I would say with the knee, it's always in that same complexity and the complex that you have of that right-sidedness. Mm-hmm. And the thing that we do notice with knee pain and when we're squatting is usually a hip dysfunction. In the sense of this knee having pain on the medial side, and you talk about your knee caving in, without regard to where your feet are, if that glute's not strong enough to stabilize you in that down and up progression, your knee is going to take up that slack. And so when we can recontrol that glute and get it to fire and work in the mechanism that we want it to, then we can stabilize that knee. So we'll look into that glute complex to fill that up.
Awesome, yeah.
Anything else?
That was pretty much it, I would say. Otherwise, I feel pretty good.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, lay on your back first. Scoot back more. I'm going to evaluate this posterior sling, is what we call it. Or just an oblique sling, but put your knee up.
Okay.
Push into my hand. Pulse it for you. Excellent. Relax. And go. Perfect. Push out. Push out. Ooh, not so much. And push out. Way stronger. Okay. Lay on your side facing this way. You take your leg, opposite movement, so you're just going to take it straight across in front of you and back. Go. And back. And go. And back. Okay. You are going to line up against a bench. We're going to use this table because it's here, but a bench in the gym is a little bit lower than this. The top leg is going to go toe pointed down on the top part of the bench. Okay. What I want your knee on the pad. Okay. Okay. So what that means, your knee is going to go on the pad. Okay. Here's the challenge with this one. Because this is so high, this is harder to get up than it normally will be. Okay, but remember this. Knees on the pad, arms far away. You're going to lift with your adductor. So I'm going to get enough separation out. Okay. This bottom leg is going to either stay on the ground or lift up slightly, but it's going to be a side plank. Okay. Adductor lift. Okay. Back down. Okay. Adductor lift. Back down.
Like that.
Like that.
And
Beautiful. When you do, ooh, hard, huh?
I felt it more on my right side.
I want you to.
Yeah?
Yeah, use that right side to push up with. You can contact a little bit with the right side.
Okay.
Here's the difference in this though. As you're here, right now, when you're in this position, your body's pretty flexed. I want you to get enough space away from you that as you're coming through, you're actually being able to create hinge to the leg. So when you're coming up, you can create it.
Okay.
So put that elbow. Oops. Right.
With the knee.
Oh, challenge. Cool, we're gonna change this. Come off of that for me. Exact same space. Put this block right here.
Okay. Like that?
Yep.
Okay.
Lift. Yes. Back down. Up. Down. Up. Down. Switch sides. Now I'm gonna have you come out. We're gonna do the same thing, but you're just gonna come out in the clearing more so you're away from the table. Perfect. Body goes flexed. Perfect. Perfect. 2, 3.
Feels a lot more natural.
Feels a lot more controlled and a lot more natural. It looks a lot better on the side. 4. So just rotate, perfect. Just rotate straight over. This is an adductor plank, is what this is.
Okay.
So what we're doing is we're strengthening the adductor. We're really getting this adductor in through the opposing oblique to strengthen. So this is what we call a sling strengthener. What you're feeling is you're feeling that opposing sling. One sling's super strong and one sling's super weak. So you're feeling the one that feels natural is strong.
Yeah.
And the opposite side's weak.
Yeah.
What that tells me is that opposite side, it's actually the oblique on this side. So on your right side, it's this oblique that's creating the weakness, not the glute. Okay? So the side that's the weakest, we do this the most on.
Okay.
And when we put you on the right side, though, that right side up, that opposite side locks in and the glute on that side locks in. So these things stay strong. Put you on the left side, this caves. And so we're really seeing it's this oblique on this side. And that's why what's happening is here is this thing's caving. And as I cave, you don't want to see my body
Yeah, that's right.
take that shift.
Yeah.
So we're going to strengthen and stabilize this. So the other thing we're going to do is just a classic side plank. So right there, we're going to do it from the knees though. Same position. Perfect. I want you to push up.
Like that?
Yes. Now I want you to push the hips forward. Yes. And back. And down. And up. And forward. And back. And up and forward. Yes. And back. Up and forward. That's the movement. 12 of those.
This is for the abductors?
This is for the oblique sling. Okay. Other side.
Other side. Okay.
Perfect. So much easier.
Easier, yeah.
So much easier. So the obliques on the right side are the weakest things right now. This also makes sense for me. As we're sitting at the desk and doing our work, we create this posture as we're leaning in. So it shuts down this oblique space. So what we're doing is we're opening it up. So we're just going to translate and get that thing to create.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely think I don't sit straight. You know, I might be leaning.
We all do. Check it out. Even while you drive, notice that when you drive, to get your foot there, just take a little lean.
Yeah.
We do. And so that same lean translates with us everywhere we go.
Yeah.
And it's not the fact that it's a huge lean, it's the fact that it's a small lean
Yeah.
for 10 hours. You know, it's the hours at home, it's the hours in the car, it's the hours at work, and the hours back at home.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, plus how we sleep, right? You know.
You're going to have a side preference, you're going to slack to that side, you're going to fall in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on there. Pleasure to see you again.
Thank you. So, do you want to give a quick summary of what we did, what you saw?
Cool. Let's get focused. So today, what we're doing is as we've evaluated you in the past and looked at it, we've had a lot of glute weakness and just incompetency. That kind of that whole glute and hip complex gives. Put it to here. It kind of gives way, and so as you're squatting, it collapses in. And today what we really did was we were able to analyze and see that the glute itself is strong. We didn't have much deficiency or restriction in the tissue there. So we started exploring with some exercises and some static and dynamic ones. But we saw that the abs and the obliques specifically, you have an internal and an external oblique. And those on your right side are not as strong as the obliques on your left side. So then we get into this complex that we call the oblique sling pattern. And this gets into functional anatomy and anatomy trains kind of concepts. But your oblique sling includes your glutes, or not your glutes, but your obliques across your abdominis into your hip, and into the front portion is your hip flexor, and the posterior sling is your lat into your posterior glute, into your posterior oblique as it goes down, and it creates this cross-body pattern, and it creates a cross-body pattern, and that's where your weakness is right now. So we gave you side planks, 2 variations, one with the leg out to create adductor and posterior and anterior oblique sling, and one with the leg in with a hinge mimicking to create posterior oblique space. And we're just gonna solidify that adductor and those oblique slings to open those up, give you more stability.
Okay. So what's the homework until I see you next time?
So the homework right now is the 2 exercises.
Okay.
So the homework is going to include the side plank, leg up on the yoga block, 2 sets of 12.
Okay.
Okay. And then you're going to alternate your sides. Okay. I prefer, one side, another side, one side, another side. So alternation back. And then you're going to do 1 set of 15 of the on the knees hinge forward. And those are going to happen 3 to 4 times a week. Okay. They're going to happen every time that you do a lower body workout. They're happening during your lower body workout before you do the workout. Okay. And then then you'll find another time during the week to do them. They can be incorporated in the cool down of your upper body workout or anything like that. But when you do lower body workouts, you are going to engage these initially in order to facilitate that contraction and that awareness in the brain.
Right. Okay. That's
cool.
Awesome. Yeah.
Sweet.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure.
And make sure to check out his content, or I'm gonna leave all his links down in the description below. Follow him on Instagram. And if you're in the Los Gatos area or Northern California and you're an athlete, then you gotta pay him a visit.